Hi guys, my name is Tony and I have EDS, which is also known as Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome. It is a connective tissue disorder, well, genetic connective tissue disorder that causes my collagen to be defective. So the building blocks of your body, everything is held together by collagen, and mine doesn't work. So it causes loads and loads of different problems all over my body, multisystematics. I get joint dislocations, fatigue, chronic pain, stomach problems, just loads of stuff that I can't really think. Oh, bad bruising, poor healing, prolonged bleeding, as well as easy scarring and like loads of other stuff like that, which I'll go into detail a little bit more later. Luckily for me, I don't have many full dislocations. For me, it's mainly partial subluxations, and most of them, I'd like to say, don't really limit me, but they do, and I get really pain, like a lot of pain. I mean, I had surgery on this shoulder a couple of months back to stabilise that, because it was partially dislocated all the time, and I've got two little scars there and two on the back that you can't see. So thankfully that's stabilised it for a bit. This one still comes out, if I can show you. I don't think you can really see. Oh yeah. So that one still subluxes. That's beautiful. It's great. And causes me some problems. Both my hips sublux. This finger actually dislocated the other day and went straight back in. My kneecaps are really unstable. They dislocate. If I fall over and get them a certain angle, they will pop out and pop back in pretty much straight away. So luckily I've never had to have anything reduced and put back. And my ankles sublux. They're really unstable. My ankles roll all the time. I'll be walking down the street and I'll just go over because my ankles are just like, yeah, fuck you, kind of thing. Sorry, excuse my language. And my fingers, I struggle to write. I get really bad pain in my joints because my fingers are really bendy. So, like, this one's my worst one, I think, to be honest. It's lovely. And I've seen the usual party tricks of putting your thumbs back against your finger. That one goes back. This hand's not as bad. This one's my worst one. And obviously doing that thing that people are like that's fun, I can put my thumb backwards and stuff. All the usual party tricks, really. And I mean, a lot of people can do the thumb one and stuff and not have any issues, so I wouldn't want you to watch this video and think, oh my god, I've got EDS, when you actually have them, you're just a bit bendy. Which is be thankful for, because I wouldn't want anyone to have it. It's really difficult. Yeah, my hips come out, I have to pop them back in. Although I've not been told officially by anyone that they do that. I know they do, but my physio said otherwise. But they said that about my shoulders and they were dislocating, so I tend to, I know my body and I know what's going on. So yeah, how I got my diagnosis was, I've always had issues. I mean, the things that we didn't even realise, which we now know, are because of EDS. So when I was younger, I slept a lot. I was really clumsy, still am really clumsy. And when I got to about 10, 11, I started getting really bad joint pain in my wrists. I've always struggled with writing, as I said, but I started getting really bad pain in my ankles and my knees. And found that I couldn't really walk that far without getting really bad pain. So I got referred to a physiotherapist, and they were like, oh, it's just growing pains, it's fine, you'll grow out of it. You have got hyperextension, but that's not a problem. And I was like, okay. So I kind of went through most of my secondary school still getting growing pains. Like, I'd be in agony after walking upstairs, which has got worse now. It wasn't massively bad, but I was really tired and stuff. And when I was about 12, so in year 7 at school, I had a tonsillectomy. I'm saying such a lot, sorry. And I had my tonsils out. To put it shortly, I nearly died, because obviously they didn't know about EDS then. And one of the things we suffer is if we don't heal. So when I had my surgery, absolutely fine, no problem. It was afterwards that I started getting issues. I had loads of small hemorrhages from my throat, which sometimes is normal after, especially after having your tonsils out. They say a little bit, but it's not too bad. And I was like bleeding from the throat, went to A&E, and they were like, oh, come back when she's filled a bowl, you know, the brown bowls. They were like, come back when she's filled one of them. The next night I'd filled the bowl, went back to A&E. They kept me in, burnt all my throat to cauterise it, to stop it from bleeding. Got sent home. Another couple of days later, had another bleed, went back in, kept me in. Came back out, didn't know what was going on. They were like, oh, that's fine, she's okay. And then I was okay for a little bit, and I was set to be going on holiday. Then about 2 o'clock in the morning, I started bleeding again, got rushed back into hospital, and they were like, yeah, you can't go on holiday, which was crap. I was absolutely gutted. So they're like, yeah, you're not going on holiday. So my mum had to cancel her holiday, because I was meant to be going away with my dad, and my mum was meant to be going away as well, like separately. And my mum had to cancel her holiday to stay with me. And it's a good job, really, that I didn't fly. I mean, I was meant to fly at 8 o'clock at night, and that's when I had a really bad hemorrhage. I lost about 13 bars of blood within the second, about 10-15 minutes. I was completely hemorrhaging. They ran with me down for emergency surgery, down the corridor on the bed, literally running. And they had to stitch it, cauterise it, electrocute it, and put this really thick wadding, because both sides were completely open. Which then I got referred to a haematologist to try and figure out what was going on. They did all these tests, couldn't find anything. And that was really crap, because you're like, what's wrong with me? And everyone thinks it's in your head, and oh, she's just making it up. Or, yeah, it's really hard. It was really hard. To know you've got something wrong, and then they not be able to find it is awful. Especially because people will be like, oh, okay, why don't you clot then? And why do you bleed so much? Why? And I'd be like, they don't know. Sorry. And then, about 6 years later, I looked on Google, because I'd always done my own research to try and figure out what was wrong and stuff, and I came across EDS. And I came across that von Wheelberg or something, Wheelbrand, or some bleeding problem. And then I came across EDS was like a linked one. And honestly, the symptoms, I was like checking them off. Pretty much the whole list. I was like, had that. I remember telling my mum, I was like, look, I think I've got this. And she was like, oh my, yeah, that does sound like you. Went back to see my specialist. And I was like, look, I'm really quite bendy, and, you know, I've come across this condition online, and I think I might have it. And she was like, okay, what do you mean bendy? And I was like, well, I'm hypermobile. She was like, yeah, but not normal bendy, or like a little bit more than normal people. And I was like, well, I can like twist my leg round, and my knees don't bend. My knees don't bend backwards. But I can get my leg round and up. And I was like, my hands are hypermobile, so my fingers really bendy. And she was like, oh, okay, like, let's do the Baton score. And I was like, okay. So she gave me full marks on that, no problem. She classed my knee as at one point, even though it wasn't thingy because of what I can do, which I feel like I need to show you, so I can get my leg like round, which is great. I tend not to do it much anymore because it hurts, but I need to show you guys. So she classed that as a point, and she was like, okay, like why didn't we think of this? Like, why didn't we put two and two together and realise that this was something that it probably could have been? And I was like, you tell me, like, you're the specialist. So I got referred to a rheumatologist, and he was like, yeah, I think you got it. And I was like, oh, great, fantastic. So he referred me to a geneticist, and I got diagnosed. They went through all my family history and things, and the woman, she like examined my body. That sounds really like she examined my body. No, she like looked at, I get really bad stretch marks, so that was one thing she looked at, because that's a sign of EDS. I've got a scar on my leg that was from a bite, and that's like cigarette paper. That was another thing she looked at. My skin's not that stretchy in comparison to some people. I mean, it is a little bit. And like, it's not that bad. So she was like, some people don't get it as much as other people would, and you probably have issues that other people wouldn't have. So healing and bleeding is a massive thing for me, whereas for some other people it might not be such a big issue. Just as I don't suffer with many full dislocations and other people do. And there's people that I know that get 60 plus dislocations a day, and they've got EDS, and are in a wheelchair and have more mobility problems than I do. So yeah, that was, I got my diagnosis, and that was how it happened. And now I have a massive team of people that I'm under and things, and yeah, that's how I got my diagnosis. And this video is like 13 minutes long, and I've just been rambling. But yeah, that's a little bit about me and EDS. I'm hoping to do another video that's a bit more planned. So if you guys would like to see that, then obviously comment below. I'm sorry if I've been rambling. I'm tired. I've got no makeup on. I just got out of the bath. And I was like, let me make a video. So yeah, if you guys would like to see anything else, a bit more specific, obviously I'd like to go into a bit more detail about EDS and what it does and what it is, then let me know in the comments below. I'd also like to do a bit more about how it affects me daily, what I do to try and help, other issues that I get alongside it, such as POTS and other comorbidities, and just a lot more information about it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for giving me your time. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. And obviously, like I said, leave some comments down below, and I should get back to you and hopefully put some more videos up. Thank you.